Hey you guys, hope you're all doing good in YouTube land. So today we're going to talk about the XR650L versus modern or brand new dual sports, like basically anything newer, like how does it compare, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on it as a long-term owner. So yeah, let me get my notes here and we'll go over a few very important points. So yeah, you guys, for the new people around here, just to give you guys some background info, I've had my 650L since the mid-90s. It's a 93 and I've done quite a lot to it. So it might not be fair to compare it to normal, like stock 650Ls, but at least I'll give you guys a good reference, you know, if you're thinking about buying brand new bikes or anything newer. So to give you some background on some of the bikes I've owned, or what I'm comparing to is like my Husky TE 310. That was a heck of a bike. It was a 2012 or 2013. It was light and fast. I did a lot to that bike too, and I'd still have it if I wasn't worried about getting parts. But that's probably my number two, one of my second favorite dual sports I've ever owned. So, and I'm just talking about recent years, so for comparison purposes. So, and then I had my KTM 450 6 days. That was a 2017, which I bought, I think, in 2018 or 2019, maybe. I can't remember. Anyways, I'm going to run some clips of some of these bikes for you guys while I'm going over my points here. But so the TE 310 Husqvarna, the KTM 450 dual sport. The 450 is similar to the 500. For the guys that don't know, like the 500's got a little more grunt down low. The 450's got a little bit more over rev, so which I prefer the over rev of the 450, especially for stand-up wheelies and stuff, because you can keep it on the throttle at higher RPM a little bit easier than the 500s or the 501s. But that's just my opinion, what I like. And what else? So I had a 2016 KTM 690. I bought that one with like not very much mileage either. I think it had 500 kilometers on it or something, not very much. And what else? So that's it for modern dual sports. So I'm going to be comparing those three to my 650L, which I've owned throughout the whole time. And just speaking for me, you guys, like having modern bikes, fuel injection, you know, all the fuel pumps, all that stuff. I mean, it's a gamble. Stuff's pretty reliable nowadays, but when I rode those bikes, all three of those bikes were fuel injected, you know, and they all had fuel pumps and fuel filters and all that stuff. And you're always wondering if something's ever going to go wrong, or, you know, it's just a lot of electronics on those bikes. And the 690 had anti-lock brakes and all that kind of stuff. The 650L doesn't have any of that stuff. So, I mean, that's a plus for me. At the end of the day, you can count on it. And if something did go wrong, you can pull over and you could pull the float bowl off your carburetor and pull a main jet and look through and, you know, piece of wire and get the dirt out of the main jet. I've done all that stuff. It's easy. If the fuel injection messes up, then you got a bit of an issue on your hands. So that's just kind of where I stand on that. I don't know. I mean, I got some notes here. Let me put my Googles on and go over some of these notes. As far as, you know, starting the bikes, fuel injection versus carburetor. I know with the fuel injection, as fast as you can hit the button, those bikes will start. My XR is the same way. I mean, within 1 second it fires up. You know, if everything's on point, your valves, everything's good, it'll start just about as good as fuel injection. Maybe not quite as fast, but pretty darn close. What else? Let's see. So let's talk about suspension, modern suspension versus mine. Again, it's kind of hard to compare mine because I've done the front forks, which makes it a little more modern. Then you get the clickers on the bottom and the top, so you get a little more adjustability and a little bit more stability in the front with the XR. So it's kind of tricky to compare mine to the modern bikes, but when I did have the conventional forks on the XR, they're great forks too, just a little bit less adjustability and a little bit more flex. So yeah, the modern bike's definitely going to have better suspension, there's no doubt about it. But the Honda XR suspension, it's no joke. I mean, if you do some valving in the rear shock, and you know, you can valve up the front and put a stabilizer on your front forks, or you can go the upside down route like I did, which is pretty easy to do. Costs a bit of money and time, but it's well worth doing if you're going to keep it long term, as I do, obviously. So I don't know, is it worth spending all that money for a little bit better suspension? No, it's, in my opinion, it's not that much better. It's better, but the XR's got crazy ground clearance too. Like it's got more than my 690 had. That was one of my complaints with my 690 is you couldn't roll over logs. You had to hit them properly, like double blip them or whatever to get over them. But the XR's got, I think, a couple inches at least on the 690. So it's definitely, also I should talk about the transmission. The XR's got that fairly low first gear. The 690 didn't. So that was one of the things. I like to creep around the mountains on my XR. What else? Let me go over some stuff here. So, I mean, it's obviously durability and reliability. The XR's reputation, they haven't changed anything in, how long has it been in production? I don't even know, 30 something years or whatever. They've changed nothing on it to speak of, very minute changes. I mean, it's just a great bike that gets you home and it runs and runs and runs. That's the experience I've had. So the modern bikes, I mean, they're pretty reliable, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's whatever makes you feel comfortable in the backcountry. I mean, for me, having a fuel pump and a fuel filter is not ideal in comparison to a carburetor. You know, there's no comparison there. You can fix a carburetor on the side of the road, but the fuel injection, not so much. So what else? Let's talk about maintenance. I mean, I think the XR is 3,000 mile oil changes or something. I don't know exactly. That's like close to 5,000 kilometers, I think. I don't even put that much on this bike in a year, I don't think. So I kind of just keep an eye on the dipstick. If it's slightly dirty, I'll change it or whatever. But some of the newer modern bikes, like my KTMs, they call for crazy oil changes, which I didn't follow. I always went a little more, obviously. I don't want to be changing my oil every 10 minutes. And you should also, something else you could mention, the XR carries at least 2.5 liters is what I seem to always get, or a little over 2. Anyways, 2.3, but I always seem to get like a little more in there. I go a little over the crosshatch on the dipstick. So, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know the Husqvarna and the KTM 450, they didn't carry a lot of oil as I recall. So that's one reason they're going to want more frequent oil changes. So let's see, what else can we talk about here, you guys? We can talk about resale value. I mean, if it bears the Honda name, I'm sure you guys all know that the resale on Honda is probably the best resale out of all motorcycles. Just my opinion, but it's pretty hard to dispute Honda's reputation. Running costs. Well, like I said before, if you're doing more frequent oil changes, and a lot of those newer bikes call for really good, like synthetic oil, like, and different. Well, my 690 had a weird weight too. I think it was 1050 or something. I can't even remember, but it was a weird weight. So you couldn't go with something, you know, common. Like you had to go with the more expensive oil. So it's definitely higher running costs with newer bikes. And since we're talking about costs, we might as well talk about purchasing price. I mean, I don't know what the current prices of brand new bikes are, but you can pick a used 650L up for less than half of what a new one is, maybe even a quarter of the price. So you're getting a bike that you can resell, a bike that's guaranteed, you can't dispute the reliability of it, for a quarter of the cost of a brand new one. So you buy it for a quarter of the cost, take another quarter, which would put you at half the price of a new one, and put that money into the upside down forks, the carburetor. I've done the cam and piston. I mean, all kinds of stuff you can do with that extra money. And it, just my opinions, but I mean, you're going to be way further ahead. So, and I don't even want to mention the comfy couch of a seat. Like it's like a Cadillac. But then let's knock on the XR and say it's a little bit heavy. It's a little bit, you know, bulky in the single track compared to a light, fast KTM. You know, my 450 was like a 125. You know, you could fly in the trails. But I mean, so that's another point I wrote down here too, target rider. So, excuse me, it depends what you're going to do with it. I mean, Scott Summers, I'm sure all the old school guys have heard of Scott Summers. That guy dominated off-road racing on an XR600, which is nearly identical to the 650L. And I mean, he's a big, strong guy, so that does make a difference in throwing around the bike. But if you're not looking to be Scott Summers, you just want to be the average dual sport rider that wants a nice, reliable bike that you can get into inexpensive and resell easily, probably for what you paid for it or more, then you can't lose with a 650L. And just my opinions, of course. So yeah, I hope that some of that helps you guys. Let me know in the comments what your guys' opinions are on old bike versus new bike. Or, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, if you can afford brand new, then have both, or, you know, just get new and not worry about it. For me, it's, you know, I want to get home. I want to enjoy my ride, but I want to get home. I don't want any drama on my ride. And in all those years I've owned that thing, 30 years or just under 30 years, there's been no drama, not once. So that's something to say for them. So yeah, let me know what you guys have been up to. If you guys are going out to buy brand new bikes or you're looking for used ones. I'm probably driving the prices up on the old 650Ls with all these videos, but it's a great bike. It sells itself. So right on, you guys. Let me know what you've been up to. Right on, right.